We were going to have him on Friday
of Super Bowl week.
Okay. And he couldn't do it. But he said, I promise when I get back from the Super Bowl, I'll do it. Well, we didn't get him Monday. And then he said, I'll do Tuesday. Well, because he was there at the Super Bowl watching Mahomes and Brady, I think it just reinstalled that. Yeah. What am I doing here?
Well, they showed a shot of him in the commissioner's
booth. He looked
miserable. He's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, which is the most prestigious honor you can get.
Yeah.
In many ways, obviously MVP is one thing, but this is viewed by so many people as, you get a patch. There's no MVP patch on your jersey.
But I think
miserable.
I think he's looking at now it's my legacy. I've been in 2. I've won 1. I'm watching Mahomes. He ain't going away. Brady's probably not going away. Brady got to pick a roster. Like, what am I doing in Seattle playing in games where it's 19-13 with 2 minutes to go and they want me to win the game? Let me go and have some fun. And I think because of that weekend, and I even said to him, I said, man, you looked miserable, because he did. And then all of a sudden, I brought up a stat. I said, man, I was looking that you've been sacked on an average of 43 times per game or year. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and then all of a sudden, he opened the door. And Russell Wilson doesn't open the door when you interview him. It's really rare. And all of a sudden, I caught myself saying, wait, do you want to be traded? Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, I don't know. And I went, okay, now we're having an interview. Now it's a conversation. Now it got real.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, all right, let me go. Let me see how far he'll let me go in there, because I was sort of reinforcing what he already probably believed, that why am I out there getting sacked 45 times a game? And, they want me to win these games. And maybe you have a coach who wants to have the running game and another Legion of Boom, and it just doesn't work. But there are those moments when during an interview you go, oh, wow, okay, we got something here. That's Scottie Pippen, when Scottie Pippen was on.
Oh, my word.
And because people, when Scottie had the comments about Kevin Durant, and he's just talking about Kevin Durant and criticizing Kevin Durant, which I thought, okay, Scottie, if he wants to criticize, he's an analyst. And then he started talking about the Tony Kukoc play, and Phil wanted Tony basically to take the last shot because Tony's white. And I'm thinking, nobody is picking up on this. They want to get the Kevin Durant part of this. I go, he's calling Phil Jackson a racist. And I said, get Scottie on, because I want to ask him. And then when I asked him, I said, are you calling Phil Jackson a racist? He said, yes. And then sometimes you get these answers. A lot of times you ask questions, you know what the answers are, or at least you have an idea.
Yeah.
That's one of those where I went, oh, wow, you just called Phil Jackson a racist.
Now it's on in terms of you having to be on your P's and Q's and also continue the conversation in a way where, it doesn't go off the rails, because it could potentially go off the rails there.
Well, I didn't want to.
Because if you don't push back, or you don't also delve into it a little bit more, now you own it. That's part of the interviewing.
Well, even when I said, well, Phil had Steve, Michael Jordan, defer to Steve Kerr for the last shot in the Utah game. He goes, oh, Michael did that for the cameras. So he's saying Michael purposely wanted Steve Kerr to take the jumper from the foul line because the cameras were on him with that documentary. And I go, wow, this is deep. And so I was trying to help Scottie there, because I thought, I don't know if he knows what he's saying.
Right.
And for years covering those, NBA finals, we didn't talk to Scottie that much. It'd be Phil or Michael after a game.
Yeah.
We didn't have Scottie. Scottie sort of got lost. Nobody knew his thoughts on anything.
Yeah.
And now he's getting his victory tour, if you want to call it, but it I don't know. I hate seeing it, because you had this, you had something special, and keep that, hold on to that.
Right.
Michael's not your friend. Michael wasn't anybody's friend. Just Michael, you already knew this, but I think Scottie getting embarrassed in the documentary, and then that was it. He was done. And I do understand that. If you're Scottie Pippen, you're watching that documentary, and you're thinking, all right, hey, kids, Mike's going to say some nice things about me.
Oh, God.
And, I mean, how crushing would that be?
Beyond.
Crushing. And I think that was the breaking point for Scottie. But you get these athletes sometimes, and you don't know if they're going to give you an honest answer.
So my question for you, Dan Patrick, is which one do you prefer, where you get that news-breaking moment that is wild, and you know you have to realize it in the moment, and, you know, for the lack of a better phrase, deal with that, or somebody paying fealty to Qualcomm, or Kyler Murray not answering the question, and you know that's going to go viral as well. Dan, this is your sports talk radio moment. You have to choose. You can't just ride the fence. Like, which one are you?
When you get something that's truly honest, like Kyler Murray was just awkward. It was just, it became like I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out and say, "You've been punked," and you got me, Ashton.
I mean, are you saying that the Dark Knight was not paying fealty to Qualcomm at the during that interview years ago, Dan? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, so we booked Matt Harvey. And
here you go.
He's got surgery. He's coming back, whatever. And I was like, all right, I'll try Matt Harvey. I've never had him on before. I have him on. And I started asking questions, and then he didn't want to talk about his injury. He goes, I'll talk about it some other time. I'm just here to honor Qualcomm's. Yeah. I go, what? And I thought, oh, wait, this cannot be happening. So I said, you know how this works, Matt? Like, I ask you questions and then give you the opportunity to talk about what you're promoting. And you understand, I don't think he'd done many interviews. Hang up the phone. PR person is calling Fritzy. We're going to have him back on tomorrow. And then that exploded. It was like crazy. Mm-hmm. And that one was, I felt bad because sometimes these guys don't realize the quid pro quo. But if you said something in the moment, honest in the moment, Russell Wilson, because Russ doesn't do that. And when he did it, then I realized that, all you want is somebody to give you the opening.
Sure.
And if they do, then you can do a good interview. Because somebody will say, oh, you ask great questions.
Right.
And I said, no, it's do I get great answers? Because my question can be great. Mm-hmm. But if your answer's not great, then is it a great question?
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.